What does this all mean for the Democratic presidential race? The Iowa caucuses, Jeff seems to live there these days. They're just under 2 weeks away. Here is former Vice President Joe Biden on a possible witness deal.
This is a constitutional issue, and we're not going to turn it into a farce, into some kind of political theater. They're trying to turn it into political theater, but I want no part of being any part of that.
While Biden is in Iowa, many of his rivals are stuck in the Senate.
Look, right now, today, I am dealing with impeachment.
Look, I took an oath of office, and that is to uphold the Constitution. This is only our third impeachment in the history of the United States. I have made a commitment, and I will be here.
In the style of those senators, look, we're all in Washington too. Yeah, but what does it mean for the race, though, and for Biden to take that hard line?
I think it's uncertain what it means for the race. Probably freezes it in place in terms of the horse race. But there's some complaints from Pete Buttigieg as well, who, yes, is out there in Iowa, but he's not been in the news at all. It's hard to break through. Interestingly about Joe Biden, though, his name was mentioned again and again and again on the Senate floor, as Democrats were saying, and there was nothing there. But look in the president's case next week. Joe Biden's name is going to be mentioned all the time. We do not know how that plays. I talk to Democratic voters all the time who like Joe Biden, and they say, you know, there may not be a smoking gun, but it just doesn't quite smell right. So the Bidens would prefer this not happening. It is happening, so we don't know the actual outcome of this.
And who's been taking on Biden but Senator Bernie Sanders, who in the latest WBUR poll at your news organization, he's inching up in New Hampshire and elsewhere.
He took the lead in that poll from Pete Buttigieg, in the lead in New Hampshire. He is surging. Look, I don't think that the impeachment trial for the senators who are in the race has been as big of a problem as people worried about. I think the voters understand that they have a job to do and that they're doing it and that this is important. And I think you're absolutely right. I think this could backfire on Joe Biden with his name in the news every single day coming off the lips of the president's attorneys, really bringing up a lot of things. I mean, today you had Senator Lindsey Graham calling for a Mueller-like investigation into the Bidens. That could hurt him a lot, especially if voters think if he's elected that it will just spur a lot more investigations. So I think that is an unknown.
No, so Lindsey Graham's calling for a special counsel?
He said he wanted some outside attorney like a Mueller to come and do a full investigation of the Bidens to find out
what happened. Biden, because Democrats be like, oh, it's all politics there. But I think you hear Elizabeth Warren say, corruption is going to be a central issue in this general election campaign. She did not rush to Joe Biden's defense. So we do not know how this is going to play out. It's one uncertainty. The Biden campaign has a new ad saying, defeat Trump, elect Biden. I mean, they're really pushing electability, but their advisors do not want his name and his son's name invoked so much on the Senate floor.
This hurt him during the House investigation. Sure. Do you remember? He was like literally right before the July 25th infamous call, the lead contender, and after this investigation got rolling, he started to stumble. Again,
but he's still near the top.
He is, but he fell from the first rung.
Incredibly resilient.
And actually what's, you know, people don't like to say it out loud, but there is something funky about your son being in charge and getting lots of money from this gas company. It doesn't mean there was corruption. It means that you got a special break, likely.
Well, that was Lindsey Graham's
bring that up. Is Bernie Sanders going to bring that up on the trail? All the candidates back in Iowa this weekend, we'll see.
Well, Lindsey Graham at this event today, he said, one of the impeachment managers comes out and says this has all been debunked, there's nothing to it. And Lindsey said, no, that's misleading. This could still be investigated. There were things going on. He was very adamant about the idea of a special investigation.